Wrong ones part ways, right ones find their way. Let's listen together to understand why the more considerate a girl is, the less she is appreciated. Many girls have encountered or heard such stories. A girl with good qualities in every aspect, most importantly, is very considerate. She never argues with her boyfriend, never actively makes any demands, and never throws tantrums. Whether her boyfriend is late for a date or doesn't reply to her messages, she always understands and says, "It's okay, you're busy. I understand." These girls seem gentle, considerate, mature, and understanding, like the ideal partner men dream of. However, such girls are particularly prone to breakups. Their boyfriends often utter the breakup phrase they detest the most: "You are independent and considerate. You can do everything on your own, and you'll be fine without me. I'm the one who can't do anything." These girls can't understand why being independent and considerate is wrong. Are they not supposed to be cherished? To clarify this issue, we first need to understand the concept of what is considerate and what is not. Using two scenarios, you'll understand. When you were a child, if your father promised to take you to an amusement park on the weekend but had to work suddenly, and you stayed home obediently doing your homework without crying or fussing, that's considered being considerate. Conversely, if you insisted your father keep his promise and take you to the amusement park, that's considered not being considerate. When you grow up and have a boyfriend, and despite having severe menstrual pain, you don't want to disturb him while he's out with friends and choose to curl up alone with a hot water bottle, that's considered being considerate. Conversely, if you constantly cry and ask him to come back to take care of you, that's considered not being considerate. It's easy to see that being considerate is highlighted in interactions with others, focusing on respecting others' needs over your own. Considerate children habitually think their father's work is more important than their trip to the amusement park. Considerate girls habitually think their boyfriend's social activities are more important than their need for care. They subconsciously suppress and hide their needs to accommodate and compromise for others. This quality is very precious, and people with this quality are worthy of respect and compassion. Any relationship requires such mutual compromise and understanding. However, the fact is, when being considerate is not just an occasional behavior but a deeply ingrained habit, it is destined not to be cherished. Some children are taught from a young age to be considerate, obedient, and not to cause trouble for their parents. Many have even been threatened by their parents with, "If you keep being inconsiderate, Mom and Dad won't want you or love you." As a result, these children grow up with a deeply rooted concept that only by being considerate, suppressing their own needs, and hiding their true thoughts can they be loved. When they grow up, they carry this concept into their romantic relationships, believing that as long as they please their partners like they please their parents, they will be loved and cherished. Girls are particularly noticeable in this regard. When they find their sacrifices haven't earned their partner's gratitude and appreciation, they are confused and think men just prefer inconsiderate, high-maintenance girls and feel resentful. What they overlook is that parents' love for their children is innate and doesn't need to be earned. Your considerateness reduces the trouble of raising you, so your parents naturally treat you better. But romantic relationships require building feelings, which involves expressing your true thoughts and needs. Conflict is an inevitable part of forming a deep, close relationship, stemming from honestly exposing yourself and expressing real needs to understand each other better. You must allow yourself to be less considerate in front of him. I remember liking a girl in high school. With no experience in relationships, I was always good to her. I brought her breakfast every day, walked her home every afternoon, but never expressed any of my needs. Once, I got a leg fracture playing soccer and refused her visit because it was close to exams, and I didn't want to affect her studies. She broke up with me after the exams, and I felt it was unfair, given how considerate I had been. She told me she always wanted to care for me too, but never knew what I needed because I never expressed it. She felt like she was facing a closed wall, with no cracks to see through. She felt gratitude but couldn't develop feelings. I realized my excessive consideration and understanding cut off our mutual understanding, preventing her from falling in love with me. The truth is, when you think you're too considerate to be cherished, you ignore the bigger possibility they never fell in love with you because you were too considerate. Love requires mutual interaction. Often, your considerateness rejects this interaction. You fear showing your real needs or exposing your true self, wrapping yourself in surface-level gentleness and consideration. In the relationship, you only show considerateness, sacrifice, and grievances, while the other party feels only pressure, resistance, and alienation. What are you afraid of? That your true self is unworthy of love, or that your demands will trouble the other person? Think from another perspective. Did you fall in love with a perfect person? Wasn't it their unique traits that you loved? If you knew everything they showed was a guarded pretense, would you still love them? Likewise, don't you feel happy and joyful when you meet their needs? Your partner feels the same way about you. In conclusion, to borrow a line from a favorite movie, when someone walks toward you and you bump into them, that's love. When a car drives toward you and you crash, that's an accident. But cars always crash, while people always miss each other. Hope your love is no longer like this. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Please share this article with those around you. You'll never be alone here.